Rent in Chicago is going absolutely nuts right now. In this video, I'm going to break down why Chicago rents are skyrocketing right now. And I own apartment buildings in Chicago, so I'm feeling it myself. In this video, I'm going to go over what's driving it and why it's not just greedy landlords and what it means if you're a renter, an investor, and someone thinking about buying in this market. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the real forces pushing rents up and how to position yourself on the right side of that, no matter what you are. If you're new here, my name is Antoine Martel. I'm a multifamily real estate investor, but before that, I flipped 650 houses. I sold thousands of homes through my websites. And today, my main focus is buying apartment buildings and operating those apartments in the Midwest and mainly in Chicago. In this video, we're going to cover the data, the demand, the supply, policy, and what this means for renters and for investors. Let's get into the video. First and foremost, what the hell is actually happening with rents in Chicago? Rents are not literally doubling every single year, but we are seeing rents go up very, very fast in the city of Chicago. In a lot of neighborhoods, we're seeing older units that were stuck at like $1,000 a month are now leasing for $1,300 to $1,500, right? They used to go for $1,000. Now we're looking at like $1,250 per month in rent, all right? And two beds that used to go for, example, $1,150 per month are now going for $1,650. So we've seen a huge bump in those 2-bedroom rents for renovated 2-bedroom apartments. And there's very little real discounting or free rent concessions compared to other cities across the country right now. And the big thing about Chicago that we've noticed is also that occupancy is insanely high for all buildings. It's normal to see like 95 to 98% occupancy and really strong collections. That's a huge signal. You can't raise rents in a vacuum. You can only push rents if there's real demand behind it. So I've been seeing a lot of articles recently where people are saying Chicago rents are crazy right now. And what they're really feeling is years of under market rents catching up, plus real demand for decent housing. So let's kind of talk about demand a little bit and why people still want to live in Chicago. The demand is what's causing this to go from here, right? Like not much has changed with the apartments. So what has changed for demand wise? Why are these units getting so much higher rent than they were just a couple years ago? It's a number 3 city in America in terms of population, right? It's a corporate hub. There's a ton of S&P 500 companies there. It's huge with healthcare, logistics, education centers. It's also one of the biggest transportation hubs in the world because you have O'Hare. You have some huge industries. On top of that, for a big city, it's relatively affordable. You can still rent a 1-bedroom in many neighborhoods for what you pay to share a place in New York or Miami or San Francisco or LA. You get the big city jobs, the culture, restaurants, sports without the coastal prices. You're kind of like Midwest prices and you're in a number 3 population-wise city in America, which is just absolutely crazy. I mean, think about it. You're in Chicago. You can get a 1-bedroom apartment for $1,250. In Miami, that's $3,500, right? It doesn't make sense. So demand-wise, you have all these kind of things pushing the demand for people to not only stay in Chicago after they graduate or get out of college, but also people who maybe move to the suburbs, want to move back in. There's new buildings coming up, all that kind of stuff that kind of helps people stay there and also just keeps the occupancy up. Now, on the other side of the coin, I want to talk about supply because this is super, super interesting. So population just to talk about demand a little bit before we get into supply. Demand-wise, population-wise, Chicago, population-wise, is pretty flat. It's growing a little bit, but demand has not changed that much, but it's just people are freaking staying there. They're not leaving, and there's people moving in slowly but surely. The biggest thing is supply. So let's talk about this. So what we're seeing across the country right now, because we're multifamily investors, we look across the country for our deals. A lot of the Sun Belt markets, think about Nashville and Austin, Texas, they overbuilt. There's cranes everywhere. Thousands of new luxury units are hitting all at the same time. And so that led to a ton of concessions, free months in rent, and then flat or even declining rents in the short term. But Chicago is completely different to that because there's no construction. There's no new construction at all. Construction is expensive and heavily regulated in the city of Chicago. So it takes a long time to get projects planned, approved, funded, and built. And many of the neighborhoods we invest in are older, dense, and not easy to just plop a 30-story tower into. Instead of huge waves of brand new Class A projects in Chicago, you get limited new supply, a ton of old stock that needs work, and strong demand chasing a relatively fixed number of decent units, okay? So you have, even though the demand, like if we just were to put it on a graph, the demand is kind of like this, right? But the supply in Chicago is like this. And so you have this like very interesting delta here that is kind of happening in the city of Chicago, where there is more demand than there is supply. And what does that mean? That means the prices are going to go up, which is what you're seeing happen over here, because there just isn't any. I mean, this is the number 3 largest city in America, population wise, and there's barely any new construction units. It's fucking insane. It doesn't make any sense. This creates a huge opportunity for somebody to come in to buy this supply that's dilapidated, and capture this higher rental increase. And that's exactly what we have been doing. We have been finding buildings that we can go in and get them at $1,000, $1,150 and make them $1,250, make them $1,600. You know, for 3 beds, it used to be like, let's say $1,350. We're bringing these up to $2,250 now. It's crazy. We just got a 3-bedroom leased out for $2,250 on the south side of Chicago. That's a supply and demand that's kind of happening. I know a lot of people just look at demand and they get like so hung up on demand. People aren't moving to Chicago. People aren't moving there. It's like, we don't need a huge amount of people to move to Chicago. But if there's a little bit of people moving to Chicago and there's barely any supply and people are not renovating their units and people always want to move to a different area, different this and that, there's a huge opportunity to buy that current supply because there's no new supply being added to the market. Okay. Now let's talk about policy and programs and how the policy of Chicago actually pushes rents up. On one side of the equation, you have tenant-friendly laws. Chicago is tenant-friendly, a little bit more tenant-friendly. Evictions typically take like 6 months in a worst-case scenario versus like a 2 or 3 months for like a more red state. There's also strict rules around security deposits. We typically don't even collect the security deposit because it adds too much friction. But on the other side of the equation, so this is the pro-tenant, but then you also have the anti-tenant. You know what I mean? Anti-tenant sounds bad. Let's change this to be pro-landlord. So on one side, you have some pro-tenant stuff, tenant-friendly, 6-month eviction process, but then you also have some pro-landlord stuff happening in the city of Chicago, right? So you have affordable housing programs, right? So you have like ASAP, which is like a tax abatement program for multifamily owners and developers that are doing affordable housing. You also have great voucher programs. You have CHA, Chicago Housing Authority, a great voucher program that has tons and tons and tons of tenants that are looking for affordable places to live. Okay, so what this does in practice is if you have like a very pro-tenant, they also have a great inspection process. They do a lot of inspections to the multifamily assets around the city. There's a lot of dilapidated inventory that they kind of try to go after and make sure that they're kind of cleaning up shit. When you have a city with both of these things, with like very little new supply, tons of demand, demand's consistent, occupancy is super high, and then you also have these pro-landlordy things, it kind of makes this like special recipe for greatness, and greatness in terms of making money and having a good return. So it kind of removes a lot of the crappy, mismanaged buildings that slowly disappear because they just get repositioned. So a lot of the just crummy stock just gets repositioned. And that's kind of where the big opportunity is. A lot of capital that people have is flowing into renovating and stabilizing existing properties. And then these renovated units with better finishes, safety, services can command higher rents, especially when part of the rent is backed by the government, and there's so many programs in the city of Chicago to get that. You have this kind of weird situation happening in Chicago. You have very few slumlord type operators because the city won't allow it. You have more professional operators, better housing stock, and stronger tenant protections. It's kind of weird. I know it is a blue state, but there's no rent control. So rents can go through the roof other than the other 2 big competitors. You have LA and New York, which are blue states, but they are very blue, and they will not even allow, they have rent control, so you can't even increase the rents. Okay. So what does this mean for you as the investor? If you wanted to get into multifamily real estate, the play would be to buy older, under-rented buildings in good or improving neighborhoods. You want to fix those units up, get a good property manager in there, layer in the right programs, the voucher programs, and then also the tax strategy programs. Raise rents to where the markets already are and not some fantasy number, because the rents are flying up in the city of Chicago. The result is that your property is going to have higher income. It's going to be very stable because occupancy in Chicago is at record-breaking levels. Rents are flying up at record-breaking levels, and you have higher property values over time. Number 3 city in the entire country. So that's kind of it. That's why the city of Chicago is a great place to invest and why I've been investing there. My team and I have been very, very bullish on investing in this market. If you want to invest with me, if you are an accredited investor, you want to partner with me to invest in Chicago or want to learn more, click the link down below, top of the description, to have a chat with my team and I. I'm also going to send you a ton of stuff, some deal decks for the city of Chicago that you can look into. And if you found this video breakdown helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe. I have more deep dives just like this coming, but I would love to hear from you. What do you want to see me make a video around next? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one. See ya.